Testing.
1, 2, 3. Testing, testing.
Testing. Microphone is broken. They can't hear me.
They can't hear you.
They can't hear me.
And can you hear me? Yes, you
What?
can.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
What? Come on, you've had some food and a glass of Prosecco. Can you hear me?
So that reminded me several concerts I attended. So, welcome everyone on Tesena Fest. I hope you can hear me. Welcome on the second day of the Tesena Fest, which is the conference day. We will spend some time together today. And before I start with the organizational info, I'm giving the word to Mr. Phil Royston, who is the leader of Tesena and who's going to present some few opening words.
Thank you. Thank you. Patricio, thank you. I'm a leader. Thank you. That's the first time anyone said that. Okay, so welcome to Tesena Fest 2024. Now, some of you might be sitting a little bit confused. You might be thinking, okay, this is Tesena Fest, but that's not Tesena Fest because that's not Marcel standing at the front. And you're thinking this is a different Tesena Fest. Am I in the right place? You are in the right place. Marcel is in the wrong place, unfortunately. Marcel had some. In case you're wondering that our 17-year-long bromance has come to an end, no, it hasn't. We still love annoying each other every day. So Marcel had some family commitments, and I think his heart is a little bit broken that he couldn't be with us today. So let's say hello to Marcel. Hello, Marcel. Okay, so Tesena Fest. So I got the job of doing the opening words. I don't usually do this, so I apologize if it won't be exactly how Marcel does it. I try my best to copy his style. So I was asked to say a few words about Tesena and a few words about Tesena Fest. Tesena, we're 11 years old. And then I thought, how old is Tesena Fest? How long have we been doing Tesena Fest? And I must admit, I don't know. Does anybody know when we did the first Tesena Fest? The only... Sorry? 2011? 11 years? No. The only one I can remember is the one we did in Vienna in 2019. It was exactly the same moment that somebody said there's this virus coming from China. And we're all stood at this conference going, should we stand in the same space together? Should we touch each other? We had no idea what it all meant and what it was. So 2019, we definitely had a Tesena Fest. I think we probably had one in 2018. But I'm going to do this in a different way, maybe. I'm going to collect some data. I'm kind of a DevOps guy these days. So let me collect some data. Who has been, if you could raise your hand, who has been to Tesena Fest before? Okay, so clearly we didn't screw up too badly the previous times. Okay, thank you. And who's been here more than one time? Who's been here twice? Good. And who's been here 3 times? Okay, and who's been here 4 times? 4 years. And who's been here 5 times? Please put your hand up again. So we've been here at least 4 years. And who has never been to Tesena Fest before? Where have you been? Okay, so you're here for the first time, and some of you who've been here before may be just wondering what is Tesena Fest. So I'm going to try and explain that in a few minutes. But first of all, I need to thank you, because we like doing Tesena Fest, but unless you came, we couldn't do it. So we're only here because you're here, and you're here because we're here, and that makes kind of like a codependency. We're dependent on each other. So thank you very much for supporting this conference. Thanks very much for coming along. Without you, it would be impossible. So thank you very much. Thank you. Now, so what is Tesena Fest? Well, it's hard to describe. People ask me, what sort of conference is Tesena Fest? And I go, and I would describe it as like the best bits of every conference we ever tried to do, and every conference that we maybe attended. So I go to quite a few testing conferences, and some of them are not good for various reasons. and some of them are good for different reasons. And I would say one of the most important things that I want from a conference, and I believe you want from a conference, is to learn new stuff. Yeah? Most of the new ideas I walk around with, well, they're not new ideas, but they're new ideas for me, I walk around with, I heard at a conference. Yeah? You pick up ideas, people are talking about stuff you didn't hear about. It may be something you'll hear today, and in my experience, it's something I hear in a conference. I remember about 6 years ago, I was at a conference, and the guy was talking about testing in production. And I was like test manager from banking. And I was saying, no way you can test in production. No, it's not possible. And these days, I can see the point of it. If you deploy without releasing, if you've got feature flags, you do A/B testing, canary testing, all these good things, why not? It's the best test environment you have. If you can limit the risk, then fine. That's an idea I heard 5 years before I understood it. You may hear something today, and you go, oh, what's that? And maybe in a few years' time, you go, oh, yeah. So we learn new things. Second reason why I go to a conference, and I believe we all go to conferences, is networking. And I found this picture, and it kind of summarized IT people doing networking, yeah? And it doesn't look like it, but you know, there's a psychological theory that you have two personas. Yeah? You have your public persona, this is me talking, yeah? And you have your private persona. And I did this Lumina psychological test, I think it's called Lumina, and they explain my two personas. So my private persona is a very shy, private, withdrawn, introverted person. You wouldn't believe it, but that's who I am. Yeah? So when I'm with you and I'm with people, I really don't like talking to people. I'm very socially uncomfortable. So as a very socially uncomfortable person, I would like to give you the Introvert's Masterclass for networking. I'll give you some real good tips. Now, your weapon is this thing. On this is printed the name of the person. Yeah? And what you do is you find somebody, you stand in the room and you go, oh, I'll go and maybe talk to him. I'd like to talk to him. I'd like to talk to her. And you walk across and you look at the name tag. And then you concatenate, your IT people, I'm going to use like some script for this, you concatenate the words, hello, insert name, where are you from? And then listen. And you've started. And listen carefully, and the person will tell you something about themselves, yeah? And you can add a few questions in, and they, because they're human beings, will say, and look at your name tag, which you've got clearly displayed in front of you because it's your weapon so people talk to you. They'll say, hello, Phil, where are you from? What do you do? That's networking. Now, the other uncomfortable thing about networking is when people start a few maybe hours into a conference, everyone's in groups and they all sort of know each other, and you're stood there like you're still on your own sort of thing, yeah? And groups are frightening. You think it's terrible. I can't, you know, they're already, it's like this tribal feeling, you know, the tribes, like, if you're in a group, you feel safe, and if you're on, you don't feel safe, yeah? Like in tribes, if you're in the tribe, you survived the night, and if you weren't in the tribe, you got ate by wolves, because on your own, you basically had little sense of survival. So it's a social instinct we have. We like to be in groups, and when you're outside the group, it's uncomfortable, you don't feel safe. Now, but groups are really easy. You just walk up to the group and say, hey guys, mind if I join you? And you don't even have to start the conversation, because they're already talking. Yeah? It's much easier. And they'll say, yeah, sure, great, join us. Yeah? That's very easy. Networking anti-pattern. If you're here with your colleagues from work, now I've seen this in a lot of conferences, the colleagues from work, the 3 or 4 people, they all walked around together, yeah, like a little band, yeah, and they talk and they have all the in-jokes and all talking about what happens in work and stuff like that. But they're the people you talk to every day in work. Those people have said everything you're ever going to hear from them, yeah? And there's 150 other people here who might have something interesting to say, yeah? Break up, spread out, yeah? And go and talk to other people. I have, seriously, and I mean this very seriously, I have heard in networking things that changed my life, yeah? There's 150 people here with all sorts of different experiences, all sorts of different knowledge, and even though we've got, I believe, 5 great speakers and 5 great panelists today, there's 150 other people who can share some information with. And you can help them by sharing your knowledge and experiences. So networking is, for me, the important thing. What we also try and do is make Tesena Fest value for money. If you want to look at some other Other conferences are available. If you go on their websites, you might fall off the chair when you see the price of the ticket. We try and keep it as low cost as possible. It's a break-even event. So again, if we can get you to come along, you support the event and make it possible to support the event. And finally, or not finally actually, whenever I go to a testing conference, I feel it's a celebration. Software testing conferences are special. You don't get the atmosphere on any other conference as you do on a software testing conference. And I always used to explain, like, okay, years ago when we started Tesena, people were saying, it's a great company culture. How did you create this great company culture? And I think if you want to have a company with a great company culture, all you have to do is have a software testing company. Because software testers have this special relationship with each other. Even though we don't know each other, we know each other, yeah? We do the same things, we have the same troubles, we have the same experiences. And we're all really, really proud about what we do, yeah? And we all really think that it's an amazing thing we do. So when we get together, it feels like a celebration of what we do. And finally, to have fun. Yeah? You know Marcel. Those of you who know Marcel is like fun-driven guy, yeah? He likes a party, yeah? And that's probably one of the great DNA aspects of both Tesena and Tesena Fest is we like to have fun. Now, every year, we don't just stop at 5 o'clock and go home. Every year, we like to carry on a little bit, yeah? And this year's program is the same. If, I understand family commitments and everything else, if you have a chance to stay with us for an hour or two into the evening, we have something that we used to call the after party, but I think that's a little bit scary. I'm going to call it chill out. Yeah? We can have a beer and drink. You know? It helps us with our social skills. You know? The alcohol helps. Yeah? We can maybe spend a pleasant hour or two with each other. Yeah? Last year, a lot of people left straight after the conference, and we were all very sad that you'd left. We thought it was about us. Did we say something horrible or something? But I understand that maybe you didn't have your program planned. So if you're able to make arrangements at home or wherever that you can stay here for a couple of hours in the evening, then we'd be very much happy to have you here with us. So what's the conference theme? Well, I've said all the things, I think. Quality, yesterday I had a quality engineering workshop and we had a discussion about quality. It's very difficult to describe or define quality. There's definitions which basically don't mean anything. But basically, the qualities for this conference for me is we have the learning opportunity, we have the networking, we can celebrate what we do, we try and make it value for money, we try and make it accessible, and we have tried to have a little bit of fun. So the theme of the conference is quality. Now, in terms of what we do as software testers, then I think this is the change, this is the opportunity. Because classically or traditionally, we focus on the quality of the product. And we believe in Tesena that the world is changing, as it should, because it makes a lot of sense. And we, as software testers, we can also look at the quality of the process that creates those products. And we can also look at the, mistake, bug on the slide. The last one should say people. This is because I did this slide this morning at 8 a.m. It should be people. So it's the quality of the people and the work they do to create those products. And this is something we call quality engineering. Not just us, this is something you hear more and more about. It's not just us talking about it. There's a lot of buzz around quality engineering. Yesterday I had a workshop about it. People there probably, hopefully, learned a little bit more about it. But we try to explain that or try and visualize that. It's a combination. The underlying theme is shift left or shift everywhere. Quality control is not just at the end, it's actually everywhere. That we have quality measures that help us ensure and measure quality and prevent quality issues, and we have continuous learning and continuous improvement. And all that is supported by, the most important thing of all, is team collaboration. If you don't have that, none of those things work, none of those things are possible. So it's a very soft topic. Yeah? It's about soft skills, it's about collaboration skills. And I think we as software testers are the ideal people to introduce these ideas into our team, because if we have both good technical skills, and we always have, a good software tester always has good soft skills. So, that's the theme of the conference. I would like to say hello to our partners, and now I've got a bit of a trauma because I was reading lots of bios this morning, and I'm going to try and remember who does what. Okay, Soundtrack Your Brand. They are a music streaming platform for businesses. Yeah? Not only do they provide a great mood for your restaurant, bar, or whatever shop or whatever you do, they also make sure that you have no copyright issues. Because if you play Spotify in your shop or bar, you're actually doing something illegal. They don't have copyright to play in public spaces. Now, Soundtrack, your band, is playing in all the open spaces here, so you can hear their algorithms for producing good vibes in different atmosphere and creating different atmospheres, how it works. Oops, I've gone forward, go backwards. Curiosity Software, they provide a AI-driven quality and test data modeling tool. If you went to the workshop yesterday with Sandra and Kamcha, they presented their quality model, I think it's called, which is a model-based testing tool. Those people who went to the workshop will have a free license to be able to use that tool, for a free trial license. Live Sport, I guess we all know in the Czech Republic, it's a sports results and reporting platform. It's Czech-based, 110 million users a day, so it's a massive server. And David Christ is here. I think I saw him earlier on. So you can maybe ask him what happened last weekend. No, okay. Itera, our partner from Slovakia. Slovakia is part of a Norwegian, Nordic IT group. They provide IT digitalization and IT services for Nordic clients. I've visited their office several times. They really do have a true Nordic culture. It's based on equality, diversity, and work-life balance. So it's a really, really nice company, really nice people. Whoopee.io, this is Marcel's new project. It's a regression testing tool. Basically, it's click and play. It'll do the regression testing for you. Well, that's the idea behind it. Czech and Slovak testing boards, I hope I don't need to introduce, but that's our local official representative of the IS2QB. And finally, hopefully, I've got everybody, Continero. Continero are here. They have a stand here, so do Whoopee. They provide IT resources focused on modern technology and automation. And they have a tool, their flagship tool is called Tomtit app. And that's a low-code, no-code automation platform that allows you to create test scripts in Robot Framework. And we love Robot Framework. So they're our partners. Thanks very much to them for also making this conference possible. And also hello to our speakers. So we have Jan, Linda, here we go, Christoph, close, don't know, yes? Oh, good. Jakub, Mika, and Alex. And in the panel discussion, we have David, Juraj, Lucia, another Juraj, and Daniel. So we're going to see those speaking today, and you'll also get a chance to talk to them directly during the networking, and they'll be also hosting the round tables. So what not to miss? Workshops. Well, but unfortunately, if you weren't at the workshop yesterday, you missed it. So we have international speakers. We have a panel discussion looking at where's testing going, or talking about. You can talk with the fellow attendees, as I've said. We have lunch and refreshments. I'm sure everyone's been to Tesena Fest before knows. We always have good lunch and refreshments. We have 2 sponsors' booths in the afternoon as we finish the main part of the conference. We'll have speaker-led round tables. We have a clickathon competition in the evening where you can win. It's an iPhone.
Where you can win an iPhone. Yes, that's correct.
It's an iPhone 4, I believe.
You slept for 10 years, Phil.
The last good iPhone.
Yes, it's the iPhone 15 Pro Max.
Max.
And also there is a prize for the second and third place, which is the consumption for catering. So you're gonna get some tickets for that.
Yeah. And then we have the after conference. Chill out. And I forgot one thing. Whoopee.io also have a competition. If you post on LinkedIn.
Yes, if you post anything on LinkedIn and tag Whoopee.io and get as many likes as you can get, you can win some prizes, and they're gonna tell you more in their booth, which is outside and will be available during our lunch. Okay, so that's the opening word over. I'm going to hand over to Patricio, who will be guiding you through the day, telling you where you need to be and when you need to be there. So, Patricio, thank you, Phil.
And thank you very much.
Thank you.